and welcome back to Devils United. Today we'll be doing the watch-along for Manchester United versus Leicester. Away game at the King Power, and we have got Andy. Andy, how are you?
Good. It's kind of strange, but also nice to be a watch-along and not be there because I'm used to seeing you on a Monday night, so just a day earlier.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And you don't have all the traffic or anything, do you, at the end?
No, we discussed it on the last pod last week about as you see it, the fact that they made it as bloody difficult as possible to get tickets. So I thought I might as well do this. It should be a bit of fun. It should be a good game. Always good to do one. I think the last one we did was a pre-season, wasn't it?
It was, and as well to think of the Leicester attendance before we go into everything. They have got their highest attendance today. Their last highest attendance was against us.
Yeah, well, this is it. I think I was making friends of a Leicester fan on Twitter yesterday and pointed out that it would be even higher if they'd opened up the big stand, more than just the one stand, less than a week out. Apparently, it was about after a bit of pressure, they finally did open it up. And it'd be interesting to see the people that are there today. Obviously, we'll get into the lineup in a minute. I'm sure. Obviously, it's a must-win game in a different way. It's a must-win game because it'd be embarrassing not to. And I'm looking forward to see what happens.
And not just that, we've got two hard games coming ahead afterwards of both Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, well, Durham and Everton first.
Oh, yeah, didn't think. You know what? Durham and Everton slipped my mind, but
well, this is the hilarity. I gave Leicester a miss, which is a relatively short stretch down the road on a bus. Now I'm going to go Durham and drive it on Wednesday. And I can't wait. They're Millwall with northern accents. Go on, should be good. Should be good.
Before we go into the lineup, just want to say hello to Reese. Thank you for coming in and thank you for upgrading your membership. It really means a lot.
I think Maisy might have frozen just to test me out on this now. Either that or she's deep in thought. Either or, I'll leave everyone else to decide. I think she may have frozen. Just waiting for the stream to start really at the minute. Obviously, the main issue with the lineup is having to keep Anna Bajé away because of the concussion. It brings Maria Torres-Stottier back into the squad, where really she's been pretty much well kept out by it so far.
So sorry about that. My Wi-Fi is terrible now recently. So.
I just said about Maria being in because of Anna, a bit of a question mark, isn't it?
It is a bit of a question mark. Yeah, hey there, Ravi. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. We'll go on. I'll get the lineup up now. Here it is. So we've got Marriott, who stays in goal. We've got Maria, who will be playing as a fullback. So she is instead of Honor. Lundell is actually not playing as centre-back, people. She's playing as a fullback. Letitia and Turner will be the centre-back options. Zellum is playing as a lone defensive midfielder. And then in the midfield four, there's Staniford, Galton, Toon, Garcia, and up front, Nikita Paris. So, what are you thinking at lineup, Andy?
It's pretty strong, even though obviously it's Leicester and we've got to come up with 3 games in a week. Obviously, the obvious one, as we started talking about when you had tech issues, was Honor being out, but it makes sense. You don't want to rush a concussion. If you rush a concussion, you're out for 2, 3, 4 weeks. And, with obviously after Durham and Everton, you have got Chelsea and Arsenal next in the league. You wouldn't want to risk that. Good chance for Torres-Stottier to show a little bit of what she's made of. Staniforth is normally a sub these days. So again, interesting to see her obviously playing. Noah Haley Ladd as well, which is an interesting one. I have a feeling he probably has got one eye on Everton next week. Durham's just going to be, it's just a game on its own. Paris is interesting as well ahead of Leon. I think she's got a lot of confidence at the minute. But Leon scores a bit more. So, I think actually it's pretty equal.
They both scored the same, haven't they? Because one scored in the Conti Cup and one scored in the league.
Yeah. I want the Conti Cup to be something I want to remember again because I was there. We were all there for the draw at Villa, and it wasn't brilliant.
100%. Yeah, I think for me, what's quite interesting is the actual formation in itself, because it's shown as a 4-1-4-1, and that's not something Skinner really does. He likes to have two in the middle, and Zellum playing as a lone defensive midfielder for me is a bit of a worrying, because she isn't defensive midfielder.
Who was that? Sorry.
Katie Zellum playing
Yeah.
as a lone defensive midfielder, because if she had someone next to her, I don't think it's as bad. But knowing that it's just her on her own, if she
A
moves
hard
a
one
bit
though.
further
You,
forward,
you hear about players getting converted, but she plays every week in the same position. So maybe she now is, maybe it's now maybe she has got that defensive mindset. I think I'm just trying to work out what the trade off is. Who else would we have had as a winger? We've got Garcia on the wing, but we've got Stanifor. So who would we normally have on the other wing?
well, usually we would have had Galton on the wing, wouldn't we? And
Yeah.
then
Then
Leon
right
can
in the
play in
middle.
the wing.
Yeah.
He's played Martha Thomas on the wing before.
Yeah, I suppose the only other way you would have done it is possibly said, if you wanted to go proper full strength, is put Leon where Staniforth is, and have Martha Thomas as up front as a lone striker. But I think Leicester's an interesting team because they're not very good at all. They're very much bottom of the league, but they do show like moments of skill if you do switch your brain off. And it's a good point actually, because we always jest, and Chloe, if you're watching, I am jesting, I promise. But with Chloe not being around, we can say this: United have said no to Carrie Jones for playing for Leicester, which they've finally grown some teeth. They've sharpened their teeth, because at the end of the day, it would have helped them out massively. Like, let's be honest, whoever Goodwin is, they've only got a pitcher. So, you know what I mean? They're not that. It's a big loss for them to have lost Carrie Jones.
100%. Before we go on to the subs, I'll say hello to people who's in the chat as well. Hey there, Doug. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Hey there, Vincent. Yes, my future wife is playing Zellum. Hey, Ravi. That's an interesting lineup. I still think it's pretty strong. Hey there, Static. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Good luck for today. Thank you. I hope Arsenal gets a win against Southampton. Good win against, who was they played against? Liverpool, that was it. And hey there, Football Power Hour. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. And hey there to Niall. So we'll go on to the substitute options now. Yeah, so they've got a much bigger bench than what we have got. They've got a bit, by one. But we've got Adriana Leon, Martha Thomas, Hayley Ladd, Jade Moore, Bilda Borisa, Tunkara, Sophie Bagler.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, that's a very strong bench, and you would hope that Skinner doesn't actually want to use it, I'd imagine. But then I want this sort of new Mark Skinner who's happy to knock up the goals, and to get the goal difference up, because there's a reason why we are where we are in the league. Even though we've only had a few games, we are starting to shoot the goals in. Jade Moore, I think you're probably going to see her on Wednesday, but should be needed if it gets a bit physical. The only one I really even know on the other side really is Abby McManus on the subs bench. Obviously, ex United, but a very strong sub bench, very strong squad. Touchwood. I mean, we are quite lucky with injuries within, apart from Russo and Paget and Mannion as long term. Interesting, actually. I've just noticed actually that Rachel Williams, who obviously did her debut last week, is not on the bench or in the starting 11. I wonder what the deal is with that.
I wonder though if he's leaving her there for Durham.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, Durham is very poor now. They're in the bottom part of the championship. They haven't played today because they played in that decrepit stadium called St Andrews, and it's a waterlogged pitch, which has called the game off, which I think says all you need to know about St Andrews. People are quite surprised if you've never been there, but we did last season, and it's fallen to bits. So it doesn't surprise me that the field isn't good enough. So they're going to be a bit fresher. But then it was only called up 90 minutes before kickoff, so they've had to travel without the game. So it's hard to tell.
100%. And looking at that style, looking at that bench option, I think Adriana Leon is definitely going to be coming on, but Do you think he'll make substitutes at half time if we're like 4-0 up at half time, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so. I mean, if you were going to do that, I'd definitely put Adriana and Martha on because they didn't really have much of a knowledge of each other. They kept missed a few passes clearly because they weren't used to playing. So if you're in that comfortable situation, I'd definitely bring somebody on. I mean, obviously, again, Vilda as well is another one I could do with a goal. Let's just see what Let's see the FA stream starting. Let's see what they've done with the formation. See if it is the same. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a game we need to win. But obviously, I remember from last season, Arsenal losing 1-0 against them.
Rachel Williams is on the bench.
Oh, she's on the bench. Oh,
she is, and FootMap didn't put her on. That's a bit tight.
It's all right. She's
yeah. So Rachel Williams is actually on the bench, so I can imagine we'll probably see her on like the 80th minute or something.
Yeah, it's all she can do at her age, to be fair. So
well, at least she has the younger to actually score a goal. Is our grandma of the team?
Yeah, she's got to play in Durham now. Everyone, and on Wednesday. Yeah, it looks like a decent, as I say, a decent crowd. Again, could have been bigger because they could have made the website a lot easier to put tickets on and opened it up. But at least it should be a decent crowd there. Looks like the pitch is good as well. Leicester ain't a million miles away from
You'd imagine, though, that it should be a good pitch considering it's in the men's ground.
Well, this is it, but St Andrews in the Championship, so again, you'd be surprised that was called off. Yeah, Birmingham are in the Championship, aren't they, for the men?
Yeah. Birmingham is in.
It was, yeah.
But they've got a real bad ground and the owners don't give a crap.
Yeah. There are a few stages further on where Leicester could be. Male ref as well. Looking at this, I don't recognise him. So
there's two male. Is it two male refs and a female?
Yeah, one female assistant referee, one male ref, and normally when that happens, that will be quite a high spec ref, so a League 2 ref maybe or something like that. League 1, League 2. They normally use them to fill in when the other normal referees that we know and love are unavailable. I think you'll be able to see in a minute if there's any effect on that.
Mm-hmm. Hey there, Henry. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. So what was the score prediction you had? Because I think we're going to keep a clean sheet, 100%.
I can't remember. I think I went 6-0. Did Chloe go for 3-0? I went 4-0.
I went 6.
You were, it must have been 4, 5, and 6. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was 4, 5, 6. I went 6. 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 5 then. I went 5 then, I think it was.
Yeah, I went 6 because I'm pretty confident against this Leicester side.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't even know who the manager is, to be honest. Is it
Lydia Smith?
I don't know.
I'm sure it is. Let me.
And they're off, actually. Looking at this.
Yeah, they've kicked. Oh, it's Lydia Bedford. I knew she was called Lydia. Lydia's a Lydia, isn't it? Hey there, hope you well. Thank you for coming in. Prediction 2-0 for Man United. I think against this Leicester side, I'd love more than 2-0. I must be honest.
I'm trying to remember. I think last time they're a little bit. Maybe it's playing in blue. They get a bit like Reading when they start losing. They start flying in a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see.
So I'll leave the line up here for people so people can see it. And
it's interesting. It's just interesting because obviously we're trying to get a strong league in the women's game, and because of that, you're going to essentially end up with the female equivalent in the men's Premier League in the top tier. But then, more and more people I've heard of are saying that Leicester don't care and have sort of pulled out of sort of supporting their women's team. So it's really strange because it's a nice ground. I was there last season, and it basically looks like, apparently, I've never been to St Mary's, a carbon copy of St Mary's, but with blue seats. If anyone is aware of what that one's like. I've
never been St Mary's, but it's a tough ground to go to, and it's supposed to be a night. It's very far away, and I think teams always put on a good performance at St Mary's. So
hopefully, they will, they will keep focused on the women's side, because I think. I found out that last season, obviously from last season, they played all the games in the King Power. They were lauded that we're on the attack there. I think the keeper's out miles there, but luckily for Leicester, it was okay. But like with the King Power, they were given all the flowers, as certain people would say, as Nat would say, for for allowing all their women's team play the King Power. The actual truth behind it is that they dilly-dallied so long to pick a ground for their women's team. They just did it by default because they ran out of time.
Wow.
And they've carried it on this season. So hopefully they'll support it, because we need as many, of the Prem sides having female. I think to grow the game, you need as many of the Premiership sides having their women's team in the top league, because you're more likely to have the fans of the men's game to move over. If it's a lower level, then it's not as easy.
I must be honest though, I would love for Crystal Palace to go up in the league.
Yeah. I think again that's a weird one, because I don't believe they're full time, or if they are,
they're not full time. No, and I don't know if you know of this player Zaha. He actually donates a tenth of his wages to the women's teams to keep them funded.
That's fantastic. Do you know any reason why? Has he got somebody he knows there, or does he?
No, he just does it just to keep the women's.
Well, I heard actually, apparently, back in the day when Chelsea were crap in the women's team, John Terry basically funded them for Emma Hayes' first season, when they wouldn't provide kits or they wouldn't provide enough money. And I know when Casey Stoney, obviously ex-Man United manager, now manager of San Diego, when she played for Chelsea, she actually had to pay to play. Mm-hmm. So she actually had to pay, I think it was like 20 or 30 quid each time to play and that's obviously, that's within 10 years. So it has come a long way, definitely.
100%. People's got their score lines in. Football Power Hour's gone for 4-1 to United. Vincent's gone 5-0. Ravi's gone for 6-0. I Like Coffee's in the chat. Hey there, I Like Coffee. Hope you're well. 6-0 for Man United. Double hat-trick for Toon. Vincent said Toon should win Ballon d'Or. Henry is a Liverpool fan. He said that lost 2-0 to Arsenal, played wrong formation, paid dearly. Although we started well, we're never going to beat them. I think playing against Arsenal is a very tough team to play against, isn't it, really, Andy?
It is, and obviously we haven't done that this year. And I think one of the reasons, hang on, Leicester's on the attack here.
It's fine. It saved it. It went straight to us. So
yeah, we haven't actually checked.
And they look like and it was all exposed on Maria's side, so that.
That's my only concern. With Maria's our obvious weak link. I think it's something that that Mark needs to look at in January. We are weak at the fullback position. But yeah, to answer your question, I mean, one of the reasons, I suppose, why we've got a really good chance this year for third place is because we have got the easiest possible start to the season. I remember our first WSL season, we played all the top four in about a month. And then we had that month of death in February last year, where we played all the top three in together. And if you look at the fixtures this season, they're all pretty spread out. There's no real sort of week of death or month. I think
the one what's most concerning is the last couple of days of the season, because we play. I'm not obviously Liverpool's just been promoted, but it's a rivalry, and you want to win against your rivals. And Spurs, who are inconsistent, they will put a good performance on against you. Although they could also get battered. We've got City and Liverpool last 3 games of the season, and I think that's probably our hardest bit.
Yeah, and maybe this is the thing that's going to need to remember, and others need to remember, that we need to build that goal difference now against your Leicesters, against your Reading, against your Brighton. We need to be in as best position as we can for third place to be finished. With a couple of days before the season.
Oh, no one there to provide goal in there for. Oh, but Staniford's picked it up. Paul, hey there. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming. 2-0 for United. I'd love a little bit more, I must be honest, but I'm happy. I'd be happy with a win.
I'm just looking at that as well. I mean, obviously, maybe because it is a Prem stadium, it's quite a big pitch as well, isn't it? So again, air conditioning will be an interesting one, for the Leicester.
The girls should be used to playing with the men's grounds, though, considering they played them in the Euros.
Yeah, definitely. I see both keepers, Sand Lavelle, or whatever her name is, seems to be out quite early.
Oh, yellow card already for Leicester.
You're about 15 seconds ahead of me. So this should be interesting.
I can't spoil it then.
7. So I'll tell you. So I've got 7:05 now.
7:09.
Oh, okay, so a few seconds ahead.
Yeah.
It's weird that because I'm on my phone, so you'd assume it gets there a bit quicker when you're on your laptop. So
That's true.
but yeah,
Ooh,
wow.
no. Ooh, no.
Yeah, I kind of got it wasn't going to happen when when I heard the reaction. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's best we can do. It's good we get replays on iPlayer on FA Player now. Anyway.
Yeah, Garcia nearly got a second.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're just sort of early stages, early phases. They're just pretty much just seeing each other out. And the United are obviously a lot more of a threat. I think to score. Can't even see Skinner. That's a good point. I suppose that's another benefit of not being there.
Well, as long as we don't see Martin Howe, I'm not bothered. The guy's more vocal than Skinner.
Well, he used to do a lot of what I call the management job. I got into trouble with a few people because I really like my managers to be in the box standing.
Yeah, I prefer that as well.
Actually doing stuff rather than just sitting there looking like he's waiting for a bus. Because you got all week to sit down, mate. But it seems to be a lot of managers like Skinner. They generally don't stand up unless they're losing, and then they're in the box trying to change it. But
yeah, I prefer that though as well.
Offside for some reason.
Hey there, Reese. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Gone for 4-1 for United. I'd love a clean sheet though against Leicester.
Yeah.
And it's just more of a confidence boost. It'd even be a confidence boost though for Maria, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? Because she hasn't been getting the game time, and the Conti Cup, what she played in, wasn't a brilliant game to play in, really.
See, yeah, completely. See, I'm just looking at the big wide picture there. Do you see that's what the problem is when you don't allow stadiums. That face makes you think we might have just lost a goal. Let's just have a look.
No.
Oh, no. Good. I've got to be worried then.
No, it's just that we got exposed again in the exact same place.
It's Maria. That's the problem. As you can, I don't know. We just need to think about what's going to happen in that position, because if you're an Arsenal, you're a Chelsea, and Honor's not around, it's open season. Last season we had no reason not. We had no other option really but to play Maria. But at least I suppose she's going to get 2 games. She's going to get today, and she's going to get Durham, so she might have a good run in.
Well, personally, I'd put Letizia as a fullback on, and then I'd play Tunkara in as a centre back.
Tunkara, yeah. Paul doesn't speak English, but we've already got a chance for her.
She'll love her regardless.
Yeah, no, she's learning.
Thank you as well, Reese, for the £5 super chat. It really means a lot, and that will go towards Breast Cancer Now. And if people want to donate directly to Breast Cancer Now, the link is in the description below.
Right, so we look like we've got that Garcia. It's Garcia, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Garcia, yeah. She's got dispossessed, though.
Only when you said that. for me.
It doesn't matter, though, because we're still holding possession, but...
It's just, it's like we did a little bit of this against Brighton until we got it going. Is that, we did this a bit last season. We're a lot stronger than the opposition, and we're sort of playing with them like a cat plays with a mouse. And you just need to start scoring.
To be honest, though, I think the formation Leicester plays, it's always hard because they're stacking up the midfield, and when it comes to your pacier players, if they're not getting into narrow spaces...
Oh.
No.
Good save by the keeper, though.
It was a good save. But, yeah, as I was saying, like, when you're stacking up the midfield, you need to find the narrow spaces, and that's the only problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the majority of the games in Leicester, obviously, that they're setting up not to lose.
Yeah, because even when you've seen the Man City game last week for them, they was very strong until the last so many the last so many minutes of the game. I think it was like the last 10 minutes, and then they lost.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And there'll be one or two games they'll sort of earmark next season. This season, Reading or Liverpool, where they'll want to desperately min that, and it'll be essentially like a 3-pointer, a 6-pointer rather. They'll have the teams they want to beat against. But yeah, it's 12 minutes gone, just over 12 minutes gone, and it's obviously 0-0. But they're just really sort of knocking it about a little bit.
Yeah, I think they're just at the moment United are just trying to get a feel of what Leicester are up to.
Exactly. No, exactly. It's a good point. We're trying to stretch them a little bit as well. Use the full width for the pitch. We have got that conditioning over them, I think, and we're just sort of trying to stretch them out. Obviously, as you can see, the run there. I can't even see that. To be honest, that Toon, and then Leo.
I think what I like though, I think Toon is a great player to play against Leicester because she can get into them narrow spaces, can't she?
Well, she's another one. Obviously, she scored against Brighton, and she could do with carrying on scoring because she's really not had much of a rest since the Euros. So again, Leicester's kind of a good one to practice on, really.
Yeah, I think though I don't think she'll play for Durham.
No, she'll be on the bench.
So there's gonna be a bit of a rest for her anyway. She's gonna be playing all the league games regardless, unless she gets injured, of course.
Well, I think the one that Katie Zellum. Well, actually, Katie Zellum was on the bench for Durham last season. If anyone wants an advert why you should go watch Durham, it's because you actually get a situation where United don't start her. No, I'm only joking. Looking at the thing we're looking at here, she's one of the best rated United players at the moment at 6.3. Only Blundell slightly higher.
I think Blundell probably has been the best player so far, though. To be fair.
Yeah, and she had a wobble. She had a wobble last couple of weeks, and obviously she was taken off at Brighton at half time because she had a knocking warm up. So again, it just feeling our way into the game. We're not in any kind of danger with it. It's just obviously making sure that we can we can sort of take our advantages really.
Last time though, we was at King Power, we did win 2-0.
Yeah, and Millie got badly injured, so that was another thing.
Is that what happened? Is that when a neck injury happened?
No, it was it Millie? Yeah, it was Millie. No, it was a knee. She dislocated a knee.
Yeah, because she had 2 injuries, didn't she? She had a knee injury and it brought her out till December time, wasn't it? And then she had a neck injury.
Yeah, because I remember it was like, I think it was the last time when they thought that they could keep things from the fans, because we saw a family member from Millie's who came up to us and told us what the injury was 5 days before United released it. So that was quite funny. So they knew straight away what it was, but then they kept it quiet for about 5 days. So it'd be interesting to see if that's a general thing in the game or was or not. Because we were, that was sort of one of the members, because that family know very much the core fans that have gone for years since the formation in 2018. So we were very lucky to get that information.
100%. I'm looking at how this lineup is fixtured right now, and it looks like they are playing a 4-2-3-1. If you want me to be fair.
Well, that's Skinner's only formation, isn't it? It's the only one he's learned, so.
It's the only one he knows, yeah. It looks like Standy's playing in the 8. Garcia on the wing with Toon, and in the middle, Galton and the left-hand side, and Paris up front.
Yeah, as I say, the idea to start with Standy fourth is interesting because I can't remember the last time she did. In my head, she's always a substitution.
I think, she has, because I was there thinking City at home, but then she came on as a sub for that when she scored.
As I say, I think it might be just trying to give squad rotation a little bit. I mean, they're still in the same league as they're in the WSL, but they're just not. That they are the weakest team in the WSL
by a country mile.
Yeah, I just paused then because I know you were ahead of me in case they got that header went in, and then I would look really stupid. They're the weakest game in the WSL, 1-0 to Leicester, but luckily not.
Yeah, I think at the moment though, it just feels like in a kind of way Russo is really missed. I know we've still got great attacking threat, but
yeah, Russo is very much missed. Really annoyed at what a small injury is. Don't really know what that means, but that's the whole point, isn't it? No one knows what a small injury means.
I must be honest though, I would have preferred for Martha Thomas to play in this game because of the formation Leicester's got.
Yeah, but she had a very bad game well, she had a bad game last week because it was a 4-0 win. But she wasn't the
But
best.
it got covered, didn't it, because of the scoreline?
That's what I mean, yeah. So she just didn't look like she was at the races. Her pace wasn't there. She didn't really know what was going on with the link up with Leon. So I get why you would try and find a way to have Paris up front. Who's obviously in a lot more form. I mean, with Russo, what I hope happens is that we do have her back before the international break.
I think she may be back for Chelsea, maybe.
I think she has to be for Chelsea. I mean, that's going to be a brilliant game. It's going to be a full house at Lee. We're going to be behind the goal for the first time on the terrace. So, which is something that our really loud people have been trying to do since 2018, really. So it should be a really interesting experience, and hopefully we'll win. Is Leicester any good at set pieces?
Leicester isn't really good at anything, if you want us to be honest.
About to say, really.
The best players are out, though, aren't they? Of Natasha Flint and Sigger.
Yeah, and Carrie Jones is not allowed to play because she's our low knee.
Yeah.
Which obviously, actually, you think about it, 2 out of the 3 names that you named then are attacking players. So that's another issue that they're going to have this match. I mean, to be honest, though, I mean, they are a Premiership club. They could put more money in. Where they are, that they've got access to the Midlands. Players. They're not a million miles away from Sheffield, who are in Tier 2. They've got the resources there if they wanted to look at it and find the talent. But I don't know. It's just hard to see, what they're trying to achieve at the minute. I think they're just trying to do enough to stay in the top league for PR reasons.
They're literally just there like a bad smell, though.
It's like you don't like them.
Yeah, but I probably would have rather Birmingham stayed up.
Says the girl who's never been to St Andrews, because I was really glad that I don't have to go there again this season.
I suppose so.
It is horrible. Apologies, I know there is a Birmingham fan in the chat, but it is falling to bits.
I'm sure Paul will be able to vouch for it, though.
I remember when we found out that they moved us from where we should have been, and we found out it's because their top at the time. Anyway, I don't know if it's changed, but the top, during their Championship League games, they weren't allowed to play in the bottom tier because it failed the safety inspection. So they had everyone at the upper tier, but we got moved. It was fine for us, but. Yeah, it was falling to bits. I'll never forget getting a drink. When you go get a drink, you go out the stadium and up a fire escape to go to a drink that hasn't been updated. Well, the stadium is 1999. It was built, also known as before you were born, which is rather worrying for some of us that are a little bit older. And I don't think they put a pound in since, to be honest.
Yeah. Not good though, is it really? Let's just be honest.
Reese going in 2-footed on Zalem. You know what? It's like, you're saying that Zalem is playing anywhere is strange. She should be playing for Durham, her level. I mean, to be honest, right? She's been there for that long now. I've just kind of got peace with it. Like, there must be something she does that we don't see. But I'd love to know what it is. And if Skinner says microphone again or whatever it was, communication on the pitch.
I think the thing what annoys me most, not that the player she is the fact that she's overhyped. That is what annoys me more.
Oh yeah, if you listen to Mark Skinner, she's Alexia Putellas with fake tan.
Well, what's a Lucia Garcia after that hype?
Well, Lucia Garcia is a very good player, so I'm happy to hype her to the masses because
but I think that Katie Zellen's been pushed off now for Lucia Garcia.
Well, she's more of a winger, though, isn't she? So, or maybe, as you say, maybe they played her in that position to make allowances for Katie. I mean, she's basically got a party trick. She can score from a corner, which is great. But if you're a decent keeper and you've now got, I don't know, as the Americans would say, film on her doing it, like video, to literally practice and say, right, this is where we need to be to start it from happening, it's not really a threat anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, like the way, like when I went to the obviously the Conti Cup game and I heard the chant, "She's better than Zidane," I was like, right. Do you get what I mean? And
no, to be honest, I'm happy to sing that now because factually, she is better than a 50-year-old man at the moment.
Yeah, so, but Zidane in his prime, you could never beat.
I know.
And I was just listening to that chant. I was like, "What? Seriously?"
I'll tell the story of that. I think I've told you before, but I'll tell it for the chat. It's because it was a Conti game where it was very, very cold midweek. I think it might have been against Sheffield United. The COVID affected season. No, the season before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, is that right? Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, the COVID affected season. Under the yellow card there, that's good for us. Where Patrice Evra was still with the club. United were paying for his badges, basically his coaching badges. So we did a rotation with the women's team, and I think it was with the academy as well. So for the match, he was actually standing directly behind us in the sort of VIP section. And I don't know if he had a bit to drink or anything like that, but he passed Mark Henry, who's the head of the supporters club, basically a piece of paper that he'd made up a chant for Zalem. And that's literally what he said. We didn't alter it at all. So that's actually Mr.
So it's Uncle Pat's fault.
Yeah, it's Uncle Pat's fault. Yeah, so literally, Mr. I love his game. I love this game. That's his chant. That's the guy who came up with it.
Uncle Pat.
I think, to be honest, I'm just waiting for this free kit to go for me. You probably already know.
I don't know yet.
Oh, what's
there?
Oh, what the hell was that?
I think it deflected,
Because to be honest, let's have a look. No, I couldn't see it from that. We'll see if I don't think they're going to give a corner.
No, it's not corner.
I think the thing is, you see, they're actually quite nervous making chants because of the fact we had such a bad rep when we first arrived in women's football. So I don't think we would have ever said lashes and fake tan, which are both factually accurate, because it can seem as a bit you having a go a little bit. But actually, we know from some of the players that she loves it and actually finds it quite funny. So we wouldn't have come up with that line initially.
Oh, I've got to have words with Uncle Pat now.
I haven't met him. I've seen him. Obviously, I'm not a men's fan, so I didn't have the sort of like going weak at the knees as other people did. But he's a nice enough guy. I remember him being wrapped up.
He's so bubbly. He's so bubbly. His personality is infective.
I think Ravi might have been sniffing something, maybe a fake tan bottle as well, by that comment at the at the bottom there. But
and they should get fake
tan. Yeah. No, I don't think that would be an option.
No.
I mean, it's gone quite quick. It's 25 minutes gone, but the problem is, there's nothing you can really sit there apart from that free kick. There's nothing you can sit there.
It's still. I think it's a bit slow into the game, isn't it, at the moment? We're trying to get a feel of Leicester, and with them cramming up the midfield, it's a bit harder. But hope you're well, Andrew. Thanks for coming in. Russo injured. Honours out for concussion.
Yeah, concussion. Jesus. Ravi, my friend, you're either brave or stupid. Which one is it? Okay. I've met Maisy in real life. Trust me, she's a firecracker. She's a good friend of mine. There you go. That's better. Yeah. So we'll answer that question instead. Who's the most creative for United's midfield? Oh, hello. What's going on here?
Someone's down. Someone from Leicester's down.
God, she looks like she's got school in the morning, doesn't she? Jesus.
There's loads of different creative midfielders, though, in their own way. Like, Toon is creative in terms of how she's in narrow spaces. I think Vilda Bovrisa offers a different kind of creative midfielder. And the rest of them are really box to box, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, the only one I would have said is a winger, isn't it? Garcia and Golson, with the way they can open up the channels and open up the lines.
Yeah.
But
Blundell's down as well.
Great. That's another area that we're weak on, unfortunately.
Well, that means could we put Leticia on the wing, mid, and the fullback if needed? I think she could be fine though.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, she's doing that sort of women's, well, not so much when she's lying down, but that sort of women's football, we fancy a break thing where they just sit down and have a drink and a chat. So I don't know whether or not, hopefully it's just a bit of a knock.
I don't like the look of this ref. He's literally, I don't like his hair.
He looks like, what's his name, Jack Grealish? That haircut.
That's insulted to Jack Grealish.
When he turns around. Find out who he is in a minute.
All I have to say, if he is anything like Jack Grealish, don't open your mouth. Yeah, Hayley Ladd on the bench. She was on the bench last game, so she'll probably come in as a sub to hold out a lead, for instance, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and she's very physical as well.
I have a feeling, though, if we do come 0-0 at half-time, you won't make a sub at half-time.
Probably not. He'll probably try and get away with it without it. But as I said, it is Leicester, so we got to make our opportunities, I think.
100%.
Let's have a look who this particular ref is. Actually, I can't see the guy who normally. That's a Durham referee. I'm not interested in him. Leicester away, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah. So I think there's definitely been some sort of change because the sort of person we normally get the ref info from has got a referee team of 4 men, and one of them is clearly a woman. So I wouldn't particularly trust that. But apparently, you'll never guess what the surname is. Apparently, of that ref. By the way, Maisy.
Who is it?
Neil Hare.
Hair as in spelled like Hair.
Yeah, as in the hair on your head. Yeah. With a haircut like that, it's a brave choice.
Very true. Oh.
Unless he's missed it, unless he's got it the wrong way around. But yeah, I believe that's who it is. National list referee. So yeah, I think he's a sort of National League level ref.
I think we've already touched on where United can exploit, haven't we? Really, Andy, that opening up Leicester and trying to get some get them out wide.
Well, this is a thing that I've been worried about, really, when it comes to games like this, is that we're not in any danger whatsoever and haven't really been in any danger for the last half an hour, but we're still 0-0. And so I think really what we need to do is, maybe give it to the 60th minute, but then we're going to have to put your Leons on. We're going to have to put the lad for Stanley Forth.
We're making
throw the kitchen sink at them.
We're making silly passes and giving it to Leicester. So our passing isn't even that good. Maria's just give the ball away. Garcia give the ball away. We're not very sharp in our passing today. We have been.
It's because I'm not there, isn't it? They're obviously all upset that I'm not there. So
I think so.
Yeah, this is it. But yeah, it's just such a strange thing because we were at Brighton as well. We came out of Brighton, felt like it could have been more. We were in control, we were on form, we were scoring. I don't know how we've ended up with 30 minutes and it's still 0-0.
I don't know if you noticed it as well, but with Leicester, when one of us are on the ball, 2 of them are going for us.
Yeah, which they can't really keep up for 90. That's gonna make gaps in the on the pitch to exploit.
And that's why it's difficult for us to get further forward.
Yeah. Well, this is it. We'll see now with the way this gets whipped in.
I'm I don't really like Zellerman set pieces. I don't like her on
what she
corners.
does, to be honest. I'm not really a fan of her at free kicks because she could have a cup of tea when it lands. She hasn't got speed with the ball. She just kind of floats it over, and you can sort of watch the ball slowly go towards the keeper like this.
I like her on corners, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I think she's better on corners when she's not trying to do a party tricks. I think it's going to be very rare for that to work again. So she can make some space on corners. Another free kick. I like how this ref keeps giving us a lot of stuff, which is good.
I still don't like his hair.
You don't have to date him. He's just a referee. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a problem. Got to provide him with a hat, maybe for half time. We can wear a little hat.
I don't want to date him, thank you.
Exactly, little Bartley's WSL hat, you know?
Yeah, he needs a hat
on. Yeah, actually, with that sun as well being half and half, isn't it? Here we go. So free kick.
Yes!
That gives it a clue. What a goal. The Paris again. I would have cheered, but I kind of knew it was coming, so that's why I knew. What else to see that again? I mean, fantastic.
I can't wait to see it.
There you go. So whips it in. Oh, was that is it deflection as well on that?
I don't know, you know. It looks like it was Paris. It went off her.
Well, Josephine, as we've been calling her on the sidelines the last few years.
How do you know my middle name?
I can't even remember what Skinner's is. I think I might have cut it out of my brain. But he has got one. Daniel, I think, is what his middle name is.
Daniel.
Mark Daniel Skinner.
I want to check on my app if it was deflected or if Paris touched it.
I think it might have been deflected before it got to Paris, but I think it was a clean header from Paris.
Yeah, it was a clean. Yeah, Paris has got the goal, so that's fine.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully now, you know, it's a confidence issue for Leicester as well. So, you know, if we can get another one before half time. TV determined, Jesus. Someone's fallen asleep at Google HQ. Yeah, no, fantastic. Corner. It's a corner. It's a corner, isn't it? Thank God for that. Jesus.
I like this ref. He's actually giving us decisions. We never get decisions.
I know, and he clearly makes a lot of bad decisions, like, for example, when he gets his hair cut, but, you know.
Maybe his voice might be a bad decision as well, yeah.
Oh.
Gone to goal. Quick. 4-0 Leicester's beaten Bulls 4-0. What? What?
You want to get people to continue to watch this. You don't want to sort of highlight the fact they should be watching.
I'm just more shocked because the Leicester men's team is poor as the women's.
You got very, very high all of a sudden.
No, that's Paris's second goal. She scored in the Conti Cup for us. Conti Cup against Villa. So it's her second goal of the season. So she scored one more goal than what she did for Arsenal. And it wasn't a penalty.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. Oh yeah, well she's scored more than that. Oh, she's scored a couple of times for us now, hasn't she?
What? Nah, she's only scored 2 for us. No, she only scored 1, I'm sure, for Arsenal.
No, I mean, yeah, but for us, she
scored 2.
Yeah.
She scored 1 more than she has for Arsenal.
Yeah.
She's already doubled the tally from last season.
Did you hear the chant for Paris that we came up with? Because you stand in a different place sometimes. It was mainly actually Claire and an Arsenal fan that will remain anonymous for public anyway. And it's Nikita. I can't even say it now. Nikita Paris, you're the love of my life. Nikita Paris, going down the right. Nikita Paris, I'd leave Arsenal too. Which is the one that we did. And as I said, an Arsenal fan is the one who did the bottom bit as well.
That's pretty funny, that.
Hang on. Skinner been paying the stat guy. How's Zellum on 7.5 and Paris on 7.2? Answers on a postcard there.
I think it's because they both there was a goal and an assist.
So the person who gave the assist has got a higher rating than the person who scored them. Right, okay. How's that work?
I don't know.
Any of you people who are interested in football stats, feel free to explain to me in the comments.
I have no clue, but I do think Blundell should be higher than what she is. Ravi's not a fan of your of the chant.
Not my chant, mate. It's just one of the many chants. Just be thankful I'm not doing Isabel's version of Mia's chant, because trust me, your ears won't survive it. But no, my one of my favourite ones at the minute is for Maya Letitia, which is one kiss is all it takes, possibilities.
To be honest, though, even the one what Maria and Millie made was quite catchy.
Yeah, that's hard to remember though for me. But it was.
I think it was like something like Maya Lahi, Maya Laha, Maya Lahi, Maya Letitia.
But the weird thing is though, is that she seems to think that's in tune, and she was like, "I can't believe I got the high notes." I'm like, "Sorry to bring it to you, you didn't." That's kind of why it was bad. But no, the one tit is all it takes is a good one, and it's still not embarrassing to say we're going to win the league, because at the minute we're in a good position. Wait till we get later in the season, we'll find out.
We're still unbeaten.
Yeah,
I think we're on the same goal difference though as Arsenal now.
Yeah, so we need to score more.
Because Arsenal disappointed themselves against Reading.
Yeah, which is good for us. It's just interesting that it's
not that they disappointed themselves, because they still got a point. They still got one, but as in like they could have got.
So I'm just looking at Reese's thing. Apparently, likes your singing, Maisy.
My singing's crap.
Actually, you're doing it exactly the way Isabel sings it, which says it all, really, to be honest. So yeah, 39 minutes and probably 39-14 for me. Still 1-0.
39-21. No.
Yeah, so there's about 3-second difference between the two of us. Didn't know Rochdale was that far behind Leicester, to be honest.
Because we're in the best city in the world, and they're just not liking it.
To be honest, my boss is from went to uni in Leicester, and when I remember went to Leicester last season, he was like, "Oh, did you see any of the city or anything like that?" I was like, "No." It's like when you do these football things, you get off a coach, you go to a stadium, you get off the stadium, you got a coach. You don't really see much of it. But I remember where it is in a random place. It's like you go through like quite a rough area, like a council estate area, before you get to the bit. But saying that, since my experiences with West Ham and Dagenham, I think everywhere looks like Mayfair compared to that. I think Maria's been kept out of the Norway squad again, hasn't she, as well? Because she's not.
Well, she's not playing, is she? Like,
no.
I do agree. Like, you need to have players in form who are getting the game time.
Yeah, 100%.
But she isn't. For me, she isn't our first choice defender, so she shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, missed pass there. I mean, it's gone quite quick, but again, apart from the goal, there hasn't really been much. It's kind of all been in the middle of the field and sort of like, we've never really particularly looked dangerous, or in danger, apart from that one sort of overlap that Leicester had.
Crapping hell. Leicester is in the top. No. But what are you shooting at? Wait!
I think if anyone wants to look at what Maisy might look like if you ever electrocuted her, you can just replay the clip. But you worry, mate. It's more stressful than watching the opposing team on the attack, because I think they got to score when you go, woo! I'm like, woo! Myself, you set me in.
Yeah, sorry. Hey there, Chris. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, it was just the fact that she shot outside the box. That's what cracked me up.
Yeah. At least it was easy for Mary. I mean, that's one of the great things really this season about Mary is that you feel really comfortable and solid with her at the back. She solidly is England number one, and you can see how the confidence has really helped.
You can tell the difference between her and Roebuck.
The only thing is though, she still does that weird passing back and miss kicking stuff. Less for United though, more for England. Obviously, when she played Czech Republic.
I was a bit surprised with how we was in the Czech Republic game, but I just look at some players and think, should you really be there?
Yeah, it wasn't actually this sport. It was another sport I follow, which is NFL, and they made a point that like if you have like a fantastic, amazing like thing where you come up and you've got the adrenaline flowing, and you get really up for something, and then next week you go play another game, you can actually lose the second game because you've gone so high. The drop down, I think you can sometimes underperform, and we had I think it's true for our football. I think we had USA at Wembley. First time we beat them, 90,000 people, bang, 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 big event. And then a couple of days later, we're at Brighton, standard friendly, and we come up short.
Yeah. Hey there, Rich. Hope you're well. Thank you for coming in. Loads of goals flying this afternoon.
Apart from here.
Yeah. Chris said 3-1 for this game. I hope he means 3-1 to United. I hope he does. We all love it. We all love Leeds to lose.
Hang on. Zellum's on 7.6. Maybe this is why we're making money for players. You've got Skinner just like throwing money at Google, paying for Google. What? Like, okay.
Put my and Alexia Putellas at a minimum of a 7.
7.6? Really? 2D at 5.8?
No.
Why has Herb's got 6.2? Surely whatever should have what the baseline is, because
I think most likely because she hasn't really had much to do, has she really?
Well, exactly. So how has she got like 6.2?
I think it'll go higher at the end of the game if she keeps a clean sheet. Yeah. But I think it's because of the first half if she made like a couple of smashing saves, she probably would have got it, but a 7. But that's what they tend to do when it's 0-0. Like if they haven't done anything for the first half, they don't really put a high score for the goalkeepers.
Yeah, 100%. Looks like we're pushing nearly at half time. I don't know if it showed you the extra minutes. I haven't seen it yet. Free kick to Leicester. It's funny because it's actually Michael McCann on comms for FA player. He's probably the best. It's Nat's mate, basically. He's probably one of the best that they have on FA player, but it's definitely much more fun doing this, I think.
Chris, yeah, he's 3-1 to United. I should have finished the sentence off. I should have said 3-1 to Leicester to rattle people. What do you want to rattle me for, Chris? I don't know why you want to rattle me. That's not nice. It's really not nice at all. It was a good
good stretch from Mary. Keep her warm. Stretch up there.
Yeah. What's the injury time like? Is it like 2 minutes or something?
I haven't seen it, so I haven't got a clue. So I'm assuming it'll just be a minute. Yeah. Well, actually, why have we got injury time? We did have it a little bit. It wasn't that long. It wasn't really that long.
Don't know why people are up for rattling me today. Andy knows what it's like. Andy knows what it's like to be a mank. He's seen me firsthand.
It's only me who rattled you by accident when I saw that woman who looked like you worked for Northern Ireland. that seems to have, we found your, remember Top Gear and
you see my
Dig's UK cousin. But then, of course, just one picture where this woman looked like Maisy from Northern Ireland, and every other picture it looked like kind of looked like Maisy if she was played by Matt Lucas. So I felt really bad because it doesn't actually look like her.
At least Henry agrees. I'm as cool as my glasses, like, But
hang on, 2.5 minutes. Maybe the ref just likes being outside today.
Catching a tan, aren't you, bruv?
Yeah, we're looking at 3 minutes, aren't we? Near enough. It's 47, 45. Well, I don't really see why, personally. And then there'll be games last week where there was a lot more going on and there was very little. Oh no, I think there was a bit more actually last time.
Nah, it's ended now. So it was a 3-minute injury time.
Yeah, 3-minute injury time.
3 minutes? I didn't think it was that much.
Come on, Skinner. You've got 4 more goals to score in the second half to make me right.
He's got 5 for me.
Yeah, but you're used to men disappointing you, Maisy. You see, that's the thing.
I suppose so.
Saying that I am with this calling Skinner the unreliable boyfriend. I'm still cranky with him, to be honest.
All I'm gonna say is don't bring out the inner mank.
Or your claws.
Oh yeah, these claws. You've seen my inner mank backstage.
Yeah, I have seen it when you get really, really angry. You get very mank, very mank.
Yeah, so it's half time. We'll quickly go through comments as well if there's anything to say. Come out, Southampton can't stand Arsenal. I can't stand Arsenal either. No. Maisy's quiz simples. Thank you very much. So we'll go with your halftime view for you, Andy. What did you think of the game?
Again, it's a good position that we're in because obviously we're not in any danger at the minute of losing the game. But I want more goals. I want us to be in more stronger position. I want to be in a stronger position. I think we can build on it second half. I would possibly bring Martha Thomas on simply because she needs confidence and she needs goals. Maybe take off Paris because obviously she scored. Her confidence is fine. And hopefully keep that rotation going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. For me, I don't know, because I think in some elements, we could have done better in terms of our passing, but there wasn't too much we could have really done. It was a quiet game so far.
Oh god, we got replays then, and it started off with City, so I didn't want to see any of that. That's going on. Oh, there you go. Yeah, City goals against Arsenal on the halftime feed for a Hay player. What a wonderful time to be alive.
Who's this against?
Arsenal.
Leicester.
No, it is Leicester. just to rub it in.
To be honest, though, if Buddy Shaw couldn't score a header, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
She's that tall.
She is Charlie Wellings. These are apparently the best goals so far or something in the league.
Who's Neve Charles?
Yeah, Neve Charles. She plays obviously Chelsea. Hang on. So you just if you're a Leicester fan, you think, oh damn, I'm 1-0 down. I'll just see what I got on in the second half. We're just highlighting all the times you got smashed by different teams this season. And it's
and these are the goals against Leicester.
Teams all have Leicester in, don't they? There's 2 of the 3 have Leicester in.
This one's against Leicester as well. I didn't even realise. Nah, I don't think this one's against Arsenal. Nah, that was Blastinius is against Reading. Do you know? I don't know what you think about it, but Hurting hasn't even started yet for Arsenal.
What was that at Arsenal? Sorry?
That Hurting hasn't even started for Arsenal.
Yeah, is that what we're going on about? I need to get better at looking at it. I start watching a lot more of the Women's Champions League and other leagues, and I forget more about us. I'm more focused on United when it comes to WSL. Yeah, and apparently today, I don't know if she came on, but they started Miedema on the bench as well. Oh, finally, United goal. Here we go. This is Adriana Leon against Brighton.
That was a good goal, though. Let's just be honest. It was a cracking goal.
Yeah, great timing. Good positioning as well. She looks knackered there, though. I haven't seen that because I was there. She's like, she's being celebrated, and she's like, she obviously pushed that one.
Jess Part. Oh, this one's against Liverpool. Jess Part versus Liverpool. That one was a funny one. I shouldn't really say that. I've got 3 Liverpool fans in the chat.
It's all right. I was talking about how I couldn't stand Liverpool when I was on the London trips to USA, and I was in a room with a girl who actually worked for Liverpool Football Club. So that was an interesting chat, but she took it the right way.
Oh, that Rachel Daly one was good against City.
Yeah, she's injured apparently. She came off injured last time.
Yeah, she did. And someone made a debut, didn't they, for her?
I just saw the headline on it. Oof, great goal. Is this against Black again? Is this can't be Leicester? They're all still doing it against Leicester, aren't they?
Nah, they're not all Leicester. I wish they were.
West Ham.
I couldn't even tell who it was.
It's West Ham away kit.
Sorry, Chris. Ashley Neville. Oh, that one's against Leicester as well. That was actually a good goal against Ashley Neville.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, what the keeper just doing? I better throw myself up to some reason, like that at the end.
Katie Zeldin, why don't you come and do that in the game today? Frank Kerber against Leicester. Is it Leicester this one as well? Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's West Ham, I think.
West Ham.
I was looking at the blue kit and I automatically assumed it was Leicester.
Kings Meadow. I want to go there and win at some point before I die. That would be nice. It's a hell of a long drive, hell of a long time to be on a bus when you lose. Where they've scored there for Kings Meadow, that's where I was at the Conti semi-final last season, staring at a Sophie Bagley who was looking up at Pernille Harder like a little girl looking up a fully grown woman. And that was the end of that. So I'm hoping if we get far in the Conti, we'll at least play Mary.
Vincent, how come you didn't go to the game today if it's in Birmingham? Leicester's in Birmingham, innit?
No. It's a city in its own right. Careful, you gotta get shit off that. I should have asked you privately. No, it's I don't say where it is, to be honest. Is it a place that nobody goes, essentially?
East Midlands.
I'm just doing a bit of geography, Maisy.
Yeah, I think it's a geography lesson today.
There you go. I'll do this now. But you'll see. They're not a million miles away from
I think I have to hide my face now.
I could have rescued you, you see, but you just went out and said it. That's the problem.
I know.
It's all good stuff. I've said silly things. Don't worry.
It happens. I'm just
It happens on live TV, as the pros say.
Yeah. Exactly. Whilst we're looking at goals but are not United's, should we look at they've actually been updated now, the scores. So there is one more person who's on a green.
Oh, good. Let me have a look then. One sec. I was still just helping you out with your. There you go.
There you go.
That
So, Mary's on a 6.4. Maria's on a 6.3. Letitia on a 6.4. Turner's on a 6.1. Blundell's 6.9. Zellum 7.7. Bolton 6.6. Stanley 6.4. Toons is 5.7. Paris 7.5. Garcia 6.2. Bit harsh, really, some of these scores.
Oh, definitely. I don't know what it is, but I've just sent you on WhatsApp, Maisy. Anyway, your where it is. It's slightly northeast. You see Birmingham, Coventry, Leicester, Nottingham.
Why? Where's Leicester? Oh, there it is. Derby.
Nottingham's in the top part of it as well.
Nottingham. Northampton.
So it's on its own. It's a city in its own right.
Very nice. Maisy gets it wrong because she's got crisp on her mind. Crisp.
I think only Vincent's mind, how a slim line as it is, can understand what that joke was.
I have no clue. Arsenal deserve this. Maisy couldn't direct a seagull to the coast. Yeah, I do. Just direct them to Blackpool. That's
a very Eric Cantona kind of joke, where I find it funny, but I don't really know what you just said.
Henry's got a good question here. Bristol City Women to replace Leicester in May.
To be honest, I'd take that because we went down there last season. Oh, Jesus, it's a year. We went down there last Halloween, actually, to watch Bristol, when I can afford to do stuff like that, to watch Bristol and Sheffield at their high performance centre. And they've got a great group of fans, a bit weird, but aren't we all? A good group of fans, great facilities, and Amy Palmer, which is obviously one of the RX players from the original OG21 sort of group. So I would definitely take that. I think they're quite a good team, but the problem with the championship, they are very close. They are very, very close. I'll bring it up while you're talking.
Do you want to look at the championship table? I've got it up here with me.
Brilliant.
So as it stands, Bristol are in first with 5 wins, 1 draw. London City, isn't that like former Millwall or something?
Exactly. Yeah. So basically, it was a bit. There was a bit of controversy when it happened. So basically, Millwall Women used to play in Dartford, which is like having United playing at Southport. It's the most random thing in the world, right? And they kind of bought the club out. And they had a bit of a fight with Millwall. So Millwall have restarted in like tier 6, tier 5, something like that. And what was Millwall got turned into London City Lionesses. But in reality, who they're actually owned by is a private equity, like a hedge fund in the City of London. So the problem is, in this country, we all support teams for historical reasons. Teams that have just been created that are just basically bullshit after a few years ago struggle with fans. So I would have real worries if they came up, because I think they'd go out of business quite quickly. I even though they're full time, I don't really know how they're full time, and they've got a lot of debt. So I'll be worried about that. So really, yeah, if not Bristol, the one I know would be a big if because they've just come up. Southampton would be interesting. Another Prem team.
They're not doing too bad. They've only lost 1 game so far this season.
But where Durham is?
Durham's in 9th. So usually Durham are like in the top half of the table, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, normally they're 2nd or 3rd. They've been pushing promotion the last couple of years. Lewis is kind of where you would normally expect them to be. Coventry, it's so funny with Coventry because last season, everybody when the girls got made redundant at Christmas, I was disgusted and I wanted, Cov to make the big escape, and they did on the final day with the big kick of Molly Green at the end of the league. But then they go and screw their own players over and go down to part-time. Now, even if you could argue that they should have always been part-time, there's people that would have obviously stuck with them for that reason. So I don't think they deserve to be in the league. So I'm happy for them to drop down and Watford to come back up again from tier 3. Sunderland's quite low. It's funny, I was looking at something today as well. Apparently, on the men's side, Blackburn has the lowest attendance in the Championship.
Oh, that's interesting.
Percentage of their stadium filled, I mean. So it's only like 40% of their stadium on average is filled. So,
I think another one would be good for us. Sheffield United to come up.
Yeah, Sheffield's a weird one because I know they definitely are still part-time. Yet they've got obviously Prem backing. And I remember Rich Laverty, who works for them, said that, they want to do it sustainably and they don't want to come up, do what commentary have done and go full-time early and then have to drop down. But you got to argue if they do go full-time, we'll go up.
Yeah, and as well, we have a good connection with them ourselves. Like, we have had a few of our youth players going to Sheffield United.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I think, mainly was Carla Ward, wasn't it? Who was the manager of Sheffield United before she went to briefly Birmingham and then Aston Villa. That was the sort of link there. And you could argue now where the top part of the WSL and cemented as part of the top 3, you want to be looking at bottom of the WSL for loanees rather than the Championship. But definitely, I mean, obviously, that's another thing. Another person who plays for Bristol that I forgot about, Fran Bentley, obviously, is now their number 1 keeper.
And she's only conceded 2 goals in 6 games.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah, so it looks like they won the last 3 as well. Looking at this, I mean, yeah, happy for London City to come up and prove me wrong. It's just it doesn't seem sustainable to me. Dartford is nowhere near London. Obviously by basically nicking the team off Millwall, the Millwall fans that used to go because they had Millwall's badge on it don't go anymore. If you're based in London, you've got the opportunity. You're already most likely going to support West Ham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, even Charlton. Technically, why would you go? I'll give this London City team a go. That has no reference point, no men's team, no reference point at all, and that plays in Kent. Dartford literally plays in Kent. So, but then they've been around for a few years, so they obviously are sustainable. I don't want. I'm a Women's fan, as you know. I don't want another team going bankrupt, like what's going on with Rugby Union and the men's at the minute. So I think Bristol City, and their men's team isn't that solid. Is it playoffs in the Championship, kind of top half of the Championship?
Yeah, so it's like from like 3rd to 6th. It's like 14 to get into the playoffs.
I mean, they're not that bad on the men's. They are in the Championship, aren't they, Bristol City? For the men.
Oh, I think they are, Yeah, they are. The 13th in the Championship so far.
Yeah, it's sort of mid-table then, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm just looking at who's in the top 7 there, who's Blackburn's there in 2nd, so that's good because there's obviously Championship for the women. Apart from that, Sheffield United's in 5th as well. Apart from that, there's no one really there.
Oh yeah, we're back back off now, aren't we? That's weird.
We are.
Like showing all those random replays, and suddenly we're back there. It's that high quality production value, I love from the FA player.
I put the lineup back up anyway. But Henry asked of where do you think we're dropping points, and for me it'd have to be Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean it's one or two things really. It's either going to be against a Leicester like this, against a Tottenham, against a weaker team, or it's going to be obviously when we play Chelsea, we play Arsenal maybe at home, because actually we have memories of playing away and winning now. But I think we're gonna learn a lot. If we obviously get 3 points today, if we can get 3, I think it's really important to get 3 points against Durham. I know it's stupid, but we've got to start thinking at some point in the near distant future we'll actually win a cup. And then if we can get 3 points against Arsenal, then you're going into that Chelsea game, and if we can get a result at home against Chelsea against a full house, then maybe this season we are going to have a great time.
Definitely. And where do you see Arsenal dropping points as well? Because I'd probably say the same, probably Chelsea. And they actually dropped points against Birmingham last year, didn't they? And that was their first defeat of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. I mean, hopefully against us, obviously. I think it's possible that we could get draws instead of lose. They might drop two. Lose
because
2 points.
we drew, didn't we, in away against Arsenal? But I think for me, it's just that there's that, how can I say, that confidence barrier of when we've got the extra player on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's funny because I just talked about it last season when I watched Barcelona, and there's a weird thing that can happen where, every time somebody plays Barcelona women, they always get at least one shot on goal or one sort of decent, really strong attack. But they suddenly go, "Oh my god, I'm about to score against Barcelona. This could be it," and they just lose it. And I think we kind of get a little bit like with Chelsea. We've got a much stronger squad this season than last season, but that final game in May, first half we played the best we ever played, but the second half we fell apart when we started thinking about beating Chelsea away. So I really hope that we can get over that psychological barrier this season.
I really hope so as well, because we need to, really, don't we? So.
But yeah, I mean, 1-0. I mean, what are Leicester's fixtures previously? I'll just see what the scores were. I didn't play anybody. Just we should be scoring more than one against Leicester.
I'll have a look. Previous to us, they had Man City in the league.
Yeah, 4-0. The team we
Everton.
So the team we want to beat, the third place team, beat them 4-0. Then
they've had Everton 1-0,
1-0,
Villa 2-0,
Tottenham
2-1,
Chelsea. Oh, that's last season.
That's this season, yeah.
Yeah. We just come on, Mark, wakey. As one of my good friends would say, time for the sub, Mark, but maybe a bit early. But
I'll give it about 55, 60 minutes. Martin Ho, what you doing up there?
He does Skinner's job for him. He did a little bit of that against Brighton. She's sort of sitting down, and he's the one who's cosplaying as a manager. But again, it's what we don't do. We're not pressurizing when we got the ball now, but when we don't have the ball, we're not pressurizing them. We're giving them acres of space to have the time, and we don't really want to be doing that.
No, not against this side. Definitely not.
Come on.
Free kick for us. Ravi said marks and subs don't mix. I think this game now is going to show, can Matt really use subs?
Well, I mean, there's been times where he's done it really well. There's been times where he's done it almost like OCD. When if I've got a sub, I've got to do it in this order and this number of times. But his main sub, which is Staniforth, is already on the pitch, and she's achieved, not much so far this year at this game. So I would definitely look at putting Leon on. To be honest, maybe for Tooney, and have her as a winger with Galton and Garcia.
That'd be interesting.
$51 gone. Come on. No one there.
For me, Ravi, it just all depends on the game, doesn't it? Of when to make subs. You can't really give an exact time. I think if he was losing, it depends on how many you're losing by. If you're losing by 1-0, I wouldn't be fussed about making a sub till the 60th minute. But if he was 3-0 down at halftime, I'm like, right, you need to make a sub at halftime. But if he was comfortable at 4-0 at halftime, I'm like, yeah, let's make a sub. So it all depends on what the scoreline is for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, same for me. I think it's about stagnation, and when the match feels stagnated, when it doesn't feel like we're doing what the original game plan is, that's when you want to sort of bring somebody on to shake it up a little bit. I mean, again, it's a weird one because they've not really done anything that's threatened us, to be honest. But again, if you sort of have never watched women's football before and, you just, whoa, what were you doing, Mary? What was that? We got away with it, thankfully. But if you never watched women's football before, and you might think United's a top team because of the name, but you wouldn't really think it's first against 12th or whatever it is, 11th. You just wouldn't think there's that difference at the minute.
No, you wouldn't. You'd think they were quite close in the league.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a corner for Leicester as well. But touching on when we spoke about the Championship, right? If, for example, this actually blends in with this game as well. If Leicester was to get relegated, right, do you think they come straight back up the next season?
No, actually, because nobody has the last 2 seasons. If you notice, Birmingham are not looking anywhere near coming up. Bristol went down the year before, and they spent at least another year in the Championship. Right, they're coming up now.
That was a good save off Mary, by the way.
Great save off Mary, fantastic. They look like coming up this season. It looks like if you go down, you need at least 1 year of rebuild before you go back. So it's like a 2-year cycle before you get back to 3-year cycle before you get back to the WSL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Liverpool was the same, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, that was a bit because they didn't put the money in and they got shamed into it. But I just think that league is so competitive now, and that opens up a different conversation that we've had before on multiple pods, which was why isn't it 2 up, 2 down? That would be a much better way of doing things.
But looking at, obviously, Liverpool, do you think they've looked like a WSL team so far?
Well, they don't look like they shouldn't be, so that's, I suppose, the way you look at it. Obviously, they had the lucky win against...
They don't look out of place, anyway.
Chelsea, exactly, yeah. But they were never going to... I mean, this is a problem because we did it, but we were a special case. But a lot of people argued that United should have reformed in the WSL and not not in WSL2. But the reason why we did it in WSL2 was because we were a brand new team, we were a brand new squad, and we wanted to make our mistakes away from the spotlight, and we did. But I think, I know for a fact, because there's quite a few fans of ours that actually became Leicester fans. And, you heard from them, a lot of them were like, oh, we're going to be in Europe next year. And it's like when they first came up last season. And it's like, as you would say, nah, mate, no chance. Maybe Villa is the only other team that has made a successful transition from Championship to WSL. They're in a strong, but even they're sort of mid-table now. It's a very hard league to stay in, and it's a very hard league to get into.
I think though, once you get in the tier 3, that's when you're having the struggle, because that is the hardest for me to get out of.
Yeah, with exactly that is that drop door is really bad, where it's you could win every game in National League North, or you could win every game in National League South and then play a playoff game and lose, and you stay in the tier 3. And once you get into tier 3, even though I think 1 or 2 get paid, it's all free, it's all pay to play. So you can come up, you can look like you're coming up this season, and if you don't make it, people have work commitments. You might lose half your squad next year. That's like the best thing I would say for anyone who isn't a women's fan to say. You're talking about a difference between League 2 and the National League. Once you drop out of the Football League, it's very, very hard to get back in and to stay back in. Ask Ryan Reynolds and his Wrexham team that I've started watching, even though I don't really watch the men's game. That documentary on Disney, where I think Wrexham have been in the National League for 12 years, and they've not managed to make it to League 2 yet.
That's interesting. Yeah, because there's some teams down there, isn't there? Like Newcastle, Leeds.
I mean, Leeds are in tier 4, actually.
Wow.
They're in tier 4. If you look at National League North, I think.
Hey there, Troy. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Not seen you in the chat before, so good to see you. Leicester have picked up in the second half.
Yeah, well, this is what I mean. 1-0 is not comfortable. That's the thing. Yes. Oh God, it does that. To Google's not quite a bad one to do in this because it doesn't do it so clearly.
No, I don't really understand the bloody tears, really.
There you go. So yeah, so basically for tier 3, the National League North, the top is Wolves on 22 points after 9 games. Nottingham Forest is second, Burnley's third, Huddersfield Town, Stoke City, Derby County, AFC Fylde, Liverpool Feds, which is like a fake team basically. Women, West Bromwich Albion, Brighouse Town, and then there's actually 2 relegation spots. The 2 relegation spots are Boldmere, St Michael's, and Loughborough Lightning.
What are these names?
So again, you can see the differences between Premiership teams with female teams and like women's teams that are women's only that have just been around for years. And in the Southern Division, Watford is top, only by 1 point though, from Oxford United, Portsmouth, Ipswich Town, Billericay Town, London Bees. Now they've been in the 3rd tier now for the 2nd season. They fell out of the 2nd tier. Surprised they've not gone bankrupt, to be honest. That's a version of Barnet, and nobody watches them. Cheltenham Town, Brigwater United with the slanted pitch, Milton Keynes Dons, Gillingham, and then in the 2 relegation spots is Plymouth Argyle and Crawley Wasps.
Oh, Plymouth. Oh.
So you have to go down to so then it goes regional. So then Division 1 North, which is tier 4, that's what has Leeds in it, and they're top of division of tier 4. So they may go into tier 3 next year. So Leeds United's top. Actually, Durham's tier 4, Durham Cestria, Barnsley and Newcastle United are tier 4 as well. Stockport County, Middlesbrough, York, Hull, Norton and Stockton Ancients, Merseyrail, Chorley and Bradford City are tier 4.
Sorry to interrupt you here, but we're making 3 substitutes.
I know, I need to get back to the match, don't I?
Martha Thomas is coming on for Hannah Blundell.
Yeah, so he's Rachel Williams as well.
Grandma's coming on.
Yeah, she's warmed up.
Staniford is coming off for Hayley Ladd.
Which is an obvious decision. But
I think Hannah Blundell's a weird one to come off because she's been our best player, in my opinion.
Yeah, it just depends on Knox, I suppose. Who's coming off for...
Garcia is coming off for Grandma.
Oh, really? Mark? Really? He's come off for Thomas?
What?
Martha Thomas, who's replaced her? You know what I
mean? Blundell.
Oh, yeah. Interesting to see what happens there.
I'm a bit confused as to why he's not used Adriana.
Because he thinks 1-0 is super comfortable. Remember that from last season? I don't know, to be honest.
I just hope his substitutes don't cost us, because personally I would have took Maria off. I was going to take any defender off.
Yeah. At least I'm not. I can see a world where it's 1-1, and that's what I don't want against Leicester, for God's sake.
Grandma lol, what a nickname. Did anyone think United can challenge from the league? I don't think we will challenge, to be honest. Not this season. Maybe one day.
mean, the big thing for United, as we discussed, is getting third place. You get third place, you get Champions League qualification, you get bigger players, you keep people like Only, you keep people like.
And we can attract the world class ones, can't we? Like,
and then next season, maybe you go for second in the sense of automatic qualification. What was automatic qualification? It's just about getting over that third place Champions League, because the problem is we find Honor, and Honor was Honor's a world class now, but she wasn't exactly she wasn't brilliant. Not sure brilliant. She was an uncut diamond when we first got her. But the problem is, at the minute, just like with Sing LeBron, we're seen as almost like a developing team. There's anyone who's really, really good. Your Leons can come in to sweep our players. Your Barca's can come in. We need to get into top 3 to stand on our own 2 feet a little bit.
Chris said, wait, there's a player called Grandma. No, it's just our little nickname, because our squad in itself is I'd say one of the youngest squads in the league, if you would agree with that, Andy.
Yeah, and he went mental and got a 34-year-old.
A 34-year-old who has only bagged 3 goals all season.
Yeah, last season, you mean?
Oh yeah, last season. She probably done more shots on target and more shots last game than she did in their entire last season, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, the problem is, in the grand scheme of things, if we win this by 1-0, is that a problem? Well, not really. We still get the same number of points if it's 1-0 or 11-0, but it's more about goals and it's about performance and about looking strong. And Leicester aren't a good team.
Oh, she's made another shot on target.
She kind of scuffed it as well.
I know. City's still struggling. They won. Who did they win it? They won last game, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if they're playing at the minute. So.
I think they played yesterday.
Oh yeah, they did.
And they won.
2-0 was it, or more than that?
They won 1-0. They won 3-0 against Tottenham. They won 4-0 against Leicester. So they got 2 wins, 2 draws.
Yeah.
Hey there, Liam. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. Good score. Yeah, we're winning. That's the main thing, I guess.
65 minutes. But it's funny how he does 3 subs as well, because you would say that maybe you want to see how it works. When
they could go either way though, using 3 subs.
I've seen it work well. I'm just the 3 he's put on. I'm not really sure why. I mean, as you say, Adriana Leon sticks out as a bit more of one to put on.
Unless he's thinking about narrow spaces, because Thomas is better in narrow spaces. Hayley Ladd is just that bit of cushion, and I don't know what Rachel Williams is like.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? No, yeah. I mean, Jane Moore would have been an option as well. I suppose Adriana's on there. It's just the problem is it just takes one moment of lapse of concentration by Maria, let's be honest, and it's 1-1. And then and then it becomes like an FA Cup tie where they park the bus, and I can see that story ending. So we need to put more pressure on them.
100%. But I don't like how comfortable Leicester are.
No, and look how much space we're giving them. We're not even pressurising them, really. I mean, you could land a plane in that gap where, Rachel Williams, Jesus, she looks like she needs a what they call in your grandma's house, a stair lift, one of those stair lifts to go across the pitch. To be honest, she, I gotta be careful because I can see Chloe's hard stare from here, even though she's not on. I'll get it tomorrow if you mention that. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, Grandma just fell on her. That's why that was clearly a free kick. It's weird because, as I say, people are like, well, you won the lot. Why are you being negative? And it's like, because you need to win. We pulled, this is without Carrie Jones. If we let Carrie Jones play against us, would we even be 1-0 up, Right, so it looks like we can build a bit of an attack, but then again, we just slow it down. And it's like...
That's the thing. We're not doing that sharp one pass, one touch pass.
Right. It's like that, obviously Barclays is the title sponsor of the WSL. It's like that walking football advert for Barclays. We're not playing walking football now. Come on.
And it's too many sideward and backward passing for my liking.
Yeah, we just need more. We need to, at least 3-0 is respectable. 1-0 against Leicester, really?
Well, to be fair, it wasn't like City 1-0 up until the 80th minute.
Well, at least we live in hope there.
I'll look at that score. Yeah, so I'm going to look at that game.
One of the players had a little sit down.
So, Shaw scored on the 24th minute, and then 79th, 72, 88.
Okay. So you're saying have hope, stick with it. Hopefully we'll be able to get to score. Yeah, I can't see he's down as well. One of the Leicester players. What are the ratings like for the players that have come on? Does it show at the bottom?
Yeah, it'll show at the bottom. Yeah, they really don't out though.
To be honest, I've forgotten Martha Thomas is even on 6.2.
Yeah.
No Vilda again. Mart doesn't like her. It's got Jackie written all over it again. She's going to leave, I reckon.
The thing is, though, he ended up using Jackie in the end, didn't he?
Well, yes, I mean, he just stopped using it and he stopped using Vilda, so I don't really get it.
People just say, though, she's not a Skinner signing, don't they?
Well, unfortunately, it seems to be, though, that a Skinner signing is either somebody who's been to Birmingham, used to play for Birmingham, or has a Birmingham accent. Like, it's a bit unfair.
So where does Nikita Paris fit in that?
Yeah, no, I'm obviously being a bit jokey, but I think, he's definitely very strange about what he wants. But again, we all need to remember that this is his last year in his contract. He has an option year after this year. So I don't know if anyone else is going to remind him, but I feel like reminding him that he needs to show us this season why we need to keep him as a long-term manager.
Callaward.
I actually agree. A lot of people don't, but I actually agree. I think ultimately, but I think maybe she wants to develop more as a manager. She wants, because as soon as you become Man United manager, the
pressure's on you, isn't it?
Yeah, the pressure's on you. So
Leicester's not made a sub yet, so it shows that they're happy of the performance so far.
Yeah, they're just going to try and make a goal and get 1-1. A point against us would be a big deal. Right, so she's off the pitch, so hopefully. Yeah, 70th minute. I mean, I'm just nervous because I've seen this before. I've seen this movie before, as they say, which is 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Oh my God, what was that 1-1? And I don't want it to happen.
Do you know the game what annoyed me most was that Spurs one? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. Oh, you think you were annoyed doing a watch along? I was there. That's when that's even what. Trust me. And that was I drove down as well. That one I drove down, and when Skinner said it's a bit windy or something, it was like, oh my God.
That just reminds me of Klopp. Or as a women's manager point of view, Emma Hayes.
Yeah, well, Emma Hayes.
What the excuses she made after that Champions League loss?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, exactly. Come on, we just need to get. I don't understand. We're social distancing.
These long passes are not doing us any favors.
Rachel Williams needs a taxi to get to the ball. She's never going to get there.
Deary me. Deary bloody me.
1-0. Everyone looks back on the preview show we did on Monday. We
were so full of confidence.
I'm Chloe's saying 4-0. I'm saying 5-0. I think.
I said 6-0.
You said 6. You know what I mean? And like we're just, I can just see it now. I can just see Skinner's little face. He'd be like, "Well, fair play to Leicester. We always play difficult against them at home, and I'm glad we got the result." It's just like, yeah. I'm just seeing it now. 72 minutes gone. Come on, United, prove me wrong.
I'm just kind of hoping that they just break off in the last 10 minutes like last week.
Yeah, I mean, again, I thought, to be honest, that they might just crumble once they went 1-0 down, because they were never going to score 2 against us. But they seem to have held their line quite well. Football,
It's a funny thing, isn't it? What does it really say that more Leicester players have got a green than us?
Yeah, and obviously we touched on it earlier that Arsenal lost 1-0 against Birmingham, so the best teams can do stupid things against the worst
No,
team.
I think it was 2-0, wasn't it?
I don't know. Was it 1-0, 2-0?
Let me have a look. It was 2-0.
Oh, the 2-0. Yeah, it was, isn't it? 9th of January.
Yeah, because we watched the game. I remember I was in town. I streamed it.
Oh, okay, cool. Just hearing that apparently the commentator gave one of our Indian fans, Namrat, her artwork a shout out on the comms.
Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it?
Which is brilliant. Only 4 minutes.
For God's sake. I shouldn't be getting frustrated, but I am, because I know that.
It's because we don't, you were talking about Spurs. Wasn't that 92nd minute as well, wasn't it? It was, and it was just, no, come on. Actually, it's a bit early from what you're saying. They only fall apart on the 79th minute, so we've got a few minutes yet before the games begin.
I feel like falling apart if it stays 1-0.
Yeah. Sounds like what I heard a lot of your men's fans have been like more recently before Eric Ten Hag took over.
Well, you've seen how I was falling apart watching the men's football. Ten Hag's the man.
Was it what alternative MUFC? Even I watched that, which is in bold. We trust or something, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
Beautiful bold man.
Just so slow. We're really slow. We're not using our pace at all.
No. I'm just kind of glad that Haley Ladd is on the pitch right now.
Yeah. Do you think he'll make an 80th minute sub? If he does, it's got to be Leon.
It will be Vilda.
Oh, yeah. Filthy, yeah. Just seems very, again, equal, sort of 50-50, and we shouldn't be 50-50 against Leicester.
Especially like how we've started this season, like hammering teams. You just expected that a little bit more.
Come on. Well, as I say, you're giving me hope. You're giving me false hope, Maisy.
I must be honest though, like I haven't really seen the connection with Garcia and Maria. It's just been a bit non-existent for me.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
And that's not helped either. Paris is coming off 80th minute. I can smell it.
The Leon, it's got to be.
Yeah.
That's it. Right, okay. Yeah, is that Maria? isn't it?
Crying out loud.
Oh, what did he get a free kick for?
Nah, I think she stood on a
Oh,
foot.
there you go. And then the other one's sitting down now. Oh, great.
She's like, nah, I'm knackered. Give me a few minutes. Ravi, we can only take what we can. Like, if they're depossessing us in the midfield, we can't take more goals. It's the formation, right? It's the same old formation we use, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was it the fact that fouled, or was it because Elm's on a yellow? So we, as much as I was joking, I wouldn't want to lose her.
I think it was Rachel Williams who had done it.
Was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ref's getting haircut tips there. Come on, hurry up. Let's get it going.
Let's get rolling, bruv. That's all I'm going to say. Come on, Matt Skinner. Let's get rolling, bruv.
78th minute. Told you, you're promising me goals from a minute's time, so I'm looking forward to it.
I don't know about you, but I'm not really a fan of the sharp goal kicks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it's more like, see, all these trends start from the men's. I don't know if it's more continental European style about playing out from the back and all this kind of stuff. But
The Gea plays out from the back though.
We went from a situation where really your goalkeeper, who kicks it the furthest, really was kind of the main selling point. Until now, you've got. I mean, we actually got into last season. We were at Arsenal. We actually got into their heads by shouting 10-yard keeper because every single time she did a short kick to one point where it was clearly against the plan is that she just whacked it downhill just to prove that she can do it. So I don't know where that comes from. But right, 79th minute. Come on, I want me 3 goals.
I want 5. Everton won't have a chance I don't think.
Yeah, I mean it's a different game. Oh, hello. What was that? Jesus, that.
I don't think I don't think Everton would have the chance. Isn't it at home?
It's in the park. It's party in the park. There's two. This is the last stadium we're going to be in for a while because we're in the park against Durham on Wednesday, and then we're playing obviously on Sunday at Everton Watchalong Park.
We've won our last 9 games at home, so
yeah, we don't play at home again until Chelsea, do we?
No.
I think because the Rugby League World Cup's on for the men at the minute, so the pitch is being used. Right, corner for United. I get a clue from Maisy's side that never worked, and funnily enough, that was correct. Oh, what the fuck are we doing?
What was it? Bloody ring of roses with the ball?
Just it's head tennis, isn't it? Come on, we just need pace. We're just walking it. Maybe because we're not under pressure, because we're not under a certain amount of pressure. We're just slowly pass. I mean, yeah. 5.6 for is that 5.6? Yeah, 5.6 for Ella Toon. Okay, so according to this, you're saying she's the worst player on the pitch today, including Leicester?
I must be honest, I haven't actually seen much of her.
Yeah, I know, but even 4's on 6.6, and she's very wobbly today. Oh.
Shoot! What'd you pass it for? Shoot it! Crikey!
What the hell, Tooney? I see why she's 5.4 now.
Crikey! Come on, Josephine.
Oh, come on. That's a good one by Millie. Martha again, just kind of. No, that's Leah, isn't it? Leah on the left now. Free kick.
Not good enough.
1-0 against Leicester. Come on. Hey, oh.
They're making 2 substitutes now.
Yeah. Number 7.
Oh, the Flint was on the pitch. Didn't recognise her. Oh, she was still injured.
CJ Bot, whoever that is, come on.
I thought it said 14-14 then. I was like, what?
Yeah, 14-44. Oh, come on. Just don't make me listen to Skinner's interview until at least tomorrow. I think that's why I've started to release them slowly over the week.
I think that's a good idea. I don't even listen to his interviews anymore.
I don't think he does either, to be honest. He just starts talking.
Oh, no! Get
But thank we get a free kick for that. Thank God. You know, with your reaction, I thought we went 1-1 then. Mary, what are you doing?
No, because I got nervous in case they ended up picking it up.
I know, don't worry, I would have been the same. I'm glad I didn't swear, to be honest. Right, okay. In about a minute's time, if we don't score, I'm just going to move to let's just get it done 1-0. Let's leave because I don't want 1-1 against Leicester. God, do me a favour. Maybe Mary found out that Serena went to the Women's Rugby Union World Cup in New Zealand and was seen at the match. So she's probably thinking she's asleep right now. What not watching me? I can do whatever the hell I want when she does a mistake like that.
It wasn't like Mary to do that. Come on. Come on, run up the pitch.
Isn't like British people weird? So you won't see it from that camera angle, but you'll see there's a massive gap in the middle of the stand at the top where clearly nobody's bought tickets. And there's people in the corners and like somebody like there basically. Why they haven't moved to get a better view, I don't it's like these people up there. If you book that row, you drop down, surely. You know what I mean? It's the most random thing.
Rather, I'm just going to answer the question. Is that
Would I care?
she would not be sold.
The only way Zellam's going to get sold is if Skinner went. That's the only way. But remember,
I don't know. But, I don't...
Skinner mentioned his leadership team officially now apparently is Zellam owner. I want to try to remember now. Haley Ladd, I think was the third one. He got named this week. The four players that he calls his leadership team. Apparently, that's the main bright idea we've got to try and keep owner, which is make a part of our leadership team. That's why she got captaincy at the Conti.
I see. Didn't know that.
Basically, it's like the football equivalent of giving you a pizza instead of a pay rise at work. Like it's not really gonna work. Right, come on. I mean, to be honest, it's funny, mainly because we've had fun chatting, hanging out with you, Hun, but like, it feels like it's gone really quickly, but I can't really remember much that's gone on, and we're only 1-0 up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a weird game.
I know. It just felt like a 90 minutes of my life has just been taken, and I can never get it back.
At least this one, I'm in my kitchen rather than in Leicester. So
I must be honest, I'm glad that you came on the watch-along, because if I had myself doing it, I would probably be pulling hairs.
It's okay. It's cool. I always say if I'm not there, I'm on here. So it's definitely cool. Come on, 88-25. Come on, Mark. Come on, you jammy sod. Give us one more, then it's 2-0, and then people say I'm too negative and can't moan. If it's 1-0, people start listening to me. Come on, we need one more goal.
I think I got my own hype up, like, to think that we will get another 4 goals.
Yeah, Gunners gap. I tell you, at least at Durham, right, which I know everyone's waiting for. I've been propping this as a main event the last few weeks. At Durham, I'll be able to smell Skinner's aftershave, so he better perform well because I have to keep my mouth shut because he'll bloody hear me. Well, literally right there.
What's his aftershave?
Really, it's like Old Spice, like really old man smell.
Ooh.
Really weird. Like it was like, like what your dad, like GP old man, Old Spice GP kind of thing. And it was like,
yeah. If I had a man right and he smelt like that, I'd be like, mate, get a shower.
Whatever float Laura Bassett's boat at the end of the day, which is his partner. But yeah, it was random. That's how close I was, as you have said quite a few times on the pod. So yeah, hopefully it's a long drive as well. I was looking at it yesterday. It's a long drive up there.
The game finishes in 1 minute now, so we'll touch on more with the game when it goes off.
Who's dead? Looks like they've died. Who's that? Oh, is it Cramp?
I don't know who it is.
Can't be Grandma.
It's 5 minutes extra time.
Oh, there's Skinner with his hat on. Should have given the ref the hat. He looks like a really...
He does look a bit snazzy, though, with that coat on.
He just looks like a really old gay man, like an old Backstreet Boy kind of thing. With the sort of like that, but I don't know.
A manager doesn't really dress like that, though, do they?
Well, apparently he said once that that he likes match days because it's the only day of the week he gets to wear something that isn't a tracksuit. And then when he said that, I felt like reminding him about the appeal of tracksuits, to be honest. No, it should be all right. It should be all right. Once you got to this point now, as long as we don't do anything stupid, just get out with the 1-0. God, is he putting Jane Moore on? What is the point of that? Yeah, he's going to put Jane Moore on, isn't he? Yeah, he's putting Jane Moore on.
I'm a bit confused why. I think Maria might be coming off, though.
Yeah. Well, Haley Ladd did play in defence when we got stuck last season. Do you reckon she'll drop back for a few minutes?
Yeah, I can see so when she's quick, isn't she? And then Letitia will probably be on the fullback.
Maria's gone straight to the bench. She's like, she's done, isn't she? Jesus. More. It's a good.
How'd you like it? How'd you like it?
It's a good. It's a good way to end because that's what I'm going to be saying. That's what I felt like I'm going to be saying to Skinner about today.
Wasn't
Need
it a
more.
birthday yesterday?
Yeah, it was actually. Leicester, Jesus. And this is the other thing that Skinner does. He starts trying to close the game out. I think we should still be trying to get that additional goal.
I know. We were saying about Arsenal and Reading. This is worse.
Just seeing if there's anything on Twitter that's coming up from our
It looks like Golden's moved to a fullback. Golden's dropped back to defence. It looks like.
Just another link here. I'd rather get 90 plus 1 minutes. I'd rather give me player of the match for having to go through this. MU Women extra. That's a good one. Nine. Come on. At least, and I'm going to say it because I'll lose and Emma will kill me. But at least it's it is 1-0.
It is facts. I'd rather give me player of the match.
Oh, we played terribly. But then they just contained us, really, I think. 5 minutes, isn't it? So
still got 1 more minute left.
We're in that danger zone from Spurs away.
Just give player of the match to Josephine. She scored.
Offside. Shut up. I can see that wasn't offside. Yellow. What? "30 seconds. Okay, when we do our predictions for Durham, I'm going to be like 1-0. I'm just going to go the opposite way. I'm just going to say very little.
Rather, you literally predicted 6-0 at the start of the stream.
Well, yeah, even a broken clock's right twice a day. Yeah, I think we all did. We're all hungry now for goals.
I'm just hungry in general.
Stop. I've suffered enough. Come on.
I'm just hungry in general. Starving.
To be honest, even Leicester aren't hurrying up. For a team that's 1-0 down, they're almost acting like they're 1-0 up.
Even Leicester, like, just get on with it. I just can't be bothered anymore. Just leave it as it is. But a 1-0 defeat is good for them.
Oh. If one piece of play doesn't stand out as a symbol for this today, it's that shot there over the bar. I think he's forgotten how long he was going to give because it's 96-28 for me.
96-33 for me.
Christ, mate, extra time might happen on Wednesday, not today. Let's hurry it up, shall we? Just end the game, please. Don't want me to start begging.
Kill the game off, or I'm just going to be off.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Off. Can you not hear? You hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear you at all.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I can hear you.
Okay, good job I can lip read because I can't hear you.
I'll go out, then in. Oh, people can hear me in the chat.
How weird. They've just suddenly lost sound. At least everyone can hear me, at least.
I can hear you as well.
It should hopefully be over soon.
It is over. It's over.
Gosh,
Done. Gone.
Right, let me come out and come back in.
Yeah. What a horrible 98 minutes of football. What can I say? It was dreadful. But
thank God.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
And this is me now the game's finished.
Yeah, I don't know. Channeling my inner Chloe, at least the positive is last season we would have drew that. We would have done something stupid. We won ugly, and that's what they say about teams. If you win, you need to win ugly sometimes. But Jesus, 1-0.
It was a poor game. There was a lot of things. I know people may blame individual players, but the long passes weren't working. Our passing was sloppy. I don't think Maria should have been playing. I personally would have played Tunkara.
Yeah, she just mustn't be ready, or maybe there is a language issue. The language, if she is still learning.
Yeah, but you see, people don't understand each other, but they've got a connection on the pitch.
Perfect tweet this from a mutual friend. Tweets as Lauren Rage on Twitter. Worst performance of the season versus Leicester. Well done. Actually, I can't remember a game where they played worse. 3 points and a clean sheet is a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, she knows her football like you do as well.
Chris said, "A win that matters. Who cares about the performance? If you care about performances and want entertainment, go to the cinema." He's so blunt. Let's just say,
that's
Chris.
True. That's fair enough.
Should we look at the ratings before we wrap up?
Yeah, 100%.
Let me see if they've updated. Yeah, they've updated. I don't think Zelen was as bad as people think, though. I think there was worse players on the pitch, personally.
Yeah, I just don't remember anything she's done, but for some reason,
I do really think Ella Toon was. Ella Toon and Maria was our worst.
No, I agree. I know the data was showing her as the best player, and I don't think she was the best player on the pitch.
I think it was Blundell. Yeah. But yeah, here's the player ratings.
8.1.
And she's got our player of the game. She's got player of the match. that blue means the player of the match.
Right, okay.
So
fair enough. 5.9, yeah.
Yeah, Marriott's is on a 7.
8,
Maria's on a 6.9. Letitia on a 7.2. Turner on a 6.2. Blundell on a 7.1. Zellum on an 8.1. Galton on a 6.9. Stanley on a 6.6. Toon on a 5.5. Paris on an 8.1. Garcia on a 6.
What about the subs?
6.5 for Martha. Rachel Williams on a 6 and Halo had on a 6.3. I think Jade Moore won't get scored, and that's understandable not to.
So the worst player on the pitch was Goodwin for Leicester, who got subbed apparently. 5.7. I know Toon. 5.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the thing is that Leicester played very well defensively, didn't it, to be honest? And it had to be a set piece what helped us to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, bring up the table. That'll be the thing to make us feel better as we end. Bring up the table, because I'm guessing we're still in a good position.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, here's the table. Arsenal in first. We've literally scored the same amount of goals.
Oh, yeah. See the Skinner. This is why I need to score more goals. We're joint goal difference 11.
Yeah, so we're in joint. Yeah, so we're in. We'll say joint. We're in second, which.
No, hang on a minute. That I don't think has that been updated because Chelsea.
Yeah, because it's got 12 points on.
Oh yeah, because Chelsea's playing more than us. Because they've played the game. Remember?
Who did they play?
Their first game of the season already got reached.
Oh no, they're playing tonight.
Are they playing tonight? Oh, that'd be why.
Yeah.
Then. Right.
They're playing tonight, so if they obviously win, they'll have the same amount of points as us.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're playing tonight against Brighton.
And Leicester's bottom. With a worse goal difference as well to Reading. Surprised Reading's so low. They're normally sort of 5th, 6th of the league. I like seeing Man City mid-table, literally definition of mid-table 6.
West Ham, considering they're in 5th, they've got the worst goal record in the top half of the table.
Yeah, that's true. And Everton again turning it around from last season. I mean, to be honest, as I said, when the final whistle blew, at least it's a win. Last season we would have drew that probably, I think. But I don't know. It was one of them. Obviously, we lose a lot when we lose honour. I hope Mark remembers this when we're doing contracts for next season. We lose a heck of a lot when we lose honour.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Obviously Russo as well.
Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up?
No, I'm happy to put a bow on that one. Stick a fork in it. It's done because as everyone said,
there's not really too much to say.
Wasn't the best game, but I'm really glad that we were on here. It's been fun doing it with you.
Yeah, thank you so much as well, Andy. Would you like to shout out your socials?
Yeah, personal one is at the minute is at AJ_87, and tomorrow we'll do the plug for you. It's me, Chloe, who I'm sure will be very positive because she always is about everything. Very positive about that game. We're going to talk a little briefly about that, but mainly focus on Devils United, of course. Focus on Durham and Everton, which are the 2 games in this week.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for coming on, Andy, and give Andy a sub. A follow on Twitter if you haven't already. I'll be live later on today at 9:30 with Luca. World Cup predictions for Group D. As Andy's already touched on, Andy and Chloe are on tomorrow for 2 previews. So we've got Durham and Everton combined into one just because of I am going to be away next week, so you can check that out. And I've got a West Ham preview as well on Tuesday, so hit that like button and subscribe button, and we'll see you at 9:30. Take care. Bye bye.